Hey ladies and gents, it's Zemback, and yes, there's going to be a lot of videos because, like I said, I'm going on vacation, so I got to release a bunch of this shit so you guys have something to watch for the next week and listen to my lovely voice. Alright, I did a doom and gloom video here the other day when I read the patch notes just because it's wargaming and I expected to get fucked because it's wargaming. I do it on a regular basis. At least this patch, they, took me out for dinner. So what did we get? Well, we're going to do the good, the bad, and the ugly, and we're going to start out with the ugly part of it. It is not as bad as I thought it was going to be. They took it in the opposite direction. Not really the opposite, but it still went south, in my opinion. The new equipment system is going to take a while. This is going to frustrate and piss off people. However, if you can adapt to it, you'll be fine. The ugly part of this is really, wargaming, it's a fucking blatant cash grab. I mean, here is the bundles shortly released. At least you guys could have waited a fucking month before you brought this stuff out, right? Change the equipment, and now we can buy the P-80A Shooting Star in the specialist configuration. Look at that. Hanger slot, 5-skill crew. And we get all the equipment with it, plus, like I said, specialist configuration. The features are even better yet. Big equipment bundles for the bombers, upgrade bundles over here. Yes, all kinds of upgrade and mixed supplies and all that kind of stuff. Really, really wargaming. Honestly, it was just okay. So we're going to completely change the equipment in the game, but we're going to sell everything back to you. We're gonna let you buy everything, so you don't have to grind through it, because it's frustrating to grind things that you already own. So yeah, that's the ugly part of this. Just like some days you just want to just give, don't fix the other bugs with the game. Let's bring out new content, new fucking equipment loadouts, and then we're gonna sell you a bunch of shit to get this done. That's the good part of it. Bad part about it, too, is, once again, it's not as ugly as the cash grab is, but the grinding that you're going to have to do. So you're going to have to do some grinding to get to the specialist part of it. Obviously, they're not as bad. These missions are enemy aircraft restored to victorious battle 2, air defense aircraft restored 2 of 30. Or you can complete them by fucking buying tokens. Yeah, it's a good thing you can buy tokens so you don't have to grind through them. This is not quite as ugly, like I said, as the just turn around and sell the shit in the shop. You can win tokens at least and have it, and buy your way through some of these planes. If you don't feel like you're going to want to grind them all out. So the grinds were a lot better than I thought they were. I was expecting something like, light tank mission 15 for the Object 260 or something like that. Something that people spend a year or better trying to complete. So these are just grindy missions. Still bad because, once again, I already have an elite plane, but now I have to grind again to get it to be a specialist plane. And then when I get done with that, I gotta fucking pay for it for 350,000 silver, and this is at tier 5. That is the bad part about it. I just can't. So if you don't have the silver, hey, go buy the premium plane with the specialist configure, and you will get enough silver to pay for all this shit that you have to rebuy. Because, we already had the elite planes. So yeah, that's my bullshit part of this whole deal. Yeah. Now, the good part about the patch, and I'm not gonna lie, this is with these new changes in equipment, there's going to be some interesting things you're going to be able to do with aircraft. And I'm not going to knock that part of it. It's overcomplicated. They didn't need to quite go to the extent they did, especially with the enhancements and the calibration, which is turned into kind of which is another bad thing in my opinion, kind of an RNG shit where you press a button and you hope to God you get the right calibration that you wanted. Yeah, not a lot to say about that. However, the good part about it, replays are back. If you guys have replays, send them to me, please. I'm always looking for something to put up on the YouTube channel. You go to settings, you go to general, and you save battle replays. Click the battle replay, hit the apply button, and now you are able to record this just like you did World of Tanks, World of Warplanes, or World of Warships, and you actually have a replay that you can send me or watch yourself. Yay, thank you. Should have been done in the first 2.0 patch and not wait till the 5th one. The second good thing about it is, of course, now they've added the ability, when you change your equipment, you can see what it does to your characteristics of your plane. Finally, once again, should have been done a while ago, but now you can actually do it. So this is super nice. You can actually see what the 3% does to your actual numbers. So I'm going to give you 2 thumbs up from that deal, 2 thumbs up for the replays. However, the rest of it is kind of bullshit. And we're just going to have to deal with it. We're just going to have to go with it. If you're really interested in playing the game, you're going to be fine with it. Eventually, having to learn all this stuff, and then I'm going to have to do it as a video, a couple different videos, because I'm not going to spend any money to grind up a plane that I already own and should have been deleted as is. But now I have to grind it again to do whatever. And I get the grinding part. People that fucking says this to me, I got 60,000 battles and tanks. I fucking get grinding, right? But to have a plane completely researched and deleted just to have to grind it some more is, in my opinion, is just crap. This shouldn't have been done. This patch should not have been done for a while. They needed to, 1, fix their FPS problems. They needed to fix their bug problems, and I've already heard that there's already bugs in this patch. All that stuff should have been fixed before this patch. 2, they should have balanced planes as well. There's planes that are not balanced in this game that are, in my opinion, is going to be completely imbalanced with these new equipment changes, calibrations, and enhancements that you're going to be able to do to them. Some of these planes are going to get just fucking broken, with some of their ability to, some of the bombers, especially the RB-17. I've seen, it's 20%. You reload quicker on your bombs and that kind of stuff. I don't see the negatives that some of the equipment that are going to add to the planes are really going to be that detrimental. However, the bonuses are going to be imbalance, even be more imbalanced than they already are. That's just my opinion. We're going to have to see as the game progresses and see more specialist aircraft to really see how that's going. I just have this bad feeling the planes that are not balanced as is are just going to become more unbalanced, which isn't necessarily a good thing. I'm looking at you like IL-40s and bow fighters and things like that. Like I said, we're just going to have to see how some of the specialist stuff worked out. Yeah, so that's the good, that's the ugly, the bad, the good, the bad, and the ugly, in my opinion, about this patch. There are some good things, I'm not going to lie. My doom and gloom one from last time was more of a reaction to just seeing the patch notes and typical wargaming fashion and of how they actually do business. I wasn't overly surprised to see them, as soon as the patch came out, to offer all kinds of stuff for money to get you to buy so you don't have to grind out planes. So let's go over some real quick things about the equipment stuff. Like I said, we're just going to have to keep doing videos on this stuff because until I get some specialist airplanes and go through some of that kind of thing for you to get to really understand it. For myself to really understand it. However, I'm started working on a few planes, and I'm not going to buy them, so you're going to have to bear with me so I can grind them out. So now with everything broken down into 3 periods, 1, 2, and 3, I'm assuming it's probably like the 30s, 40s, and 50s, depending on when the planes came into production. I-16 here, we'll just pick up the I-16. This is, of course, a period 1 aircraft, which means service-wise, it only gets 1 slot, 1 equipment slot, yay, and 1 consumable to start out with. Once you get the specialist, of course, you get 2 more spots. Yay. So, where I used to have 3, now I have 1. Excuse me. Yeah. Buck, excellent. So if I want this back, where I can be, I feel that why you're taking slots away from me because of your changes, I don't know. But anyway, so period 1's going to get 1 equipment slot. and 2 unlockable ones, and it's going to get 2 consumables with 2 unlockables. The consumables are kind of bullshit in my opinion, because you get, okay, for example, first aid dressing and fire extinguisher are in the same slot. So you get the choice between fixing your fucking dead pilot or burning to death. Go figure. Because these other slots, you have to fill one of them with, in the forward firing, you have to put universal ammunition into them, which is going to cost you more money than standard. So that's going to kind of change the economics a little bit. The other slot here will not have a fire extinguisher in it. It might have something else in there to help with fires, but for the most part, if you got fires, you're going to have to deal with it with your, I'm assuming, your pilot skills. So that is the period 1. Period 2 is, of course, 5 to 7. And, like, say, for example, the MiG-3 here. So now we're going to get 2 slots at MiG-3, where, once again, we used to have 3. So you still have 2 unlockables, and now you're going to get 3 consumables with 2 unlockables once you get to the specialist configuration. Consumables are pretty similar. These ones change a little bit. This one right here, once you get it, there's a few things in there, I think, for fire. But what's really kind of crazy is the sheer amount of how this stuff changes. Energy fighter versus light fighter versus multi-role. Some of these, instead of being this one unlocked and this one unlocked and this one being locked, they switch back and forth depending on what kind of fighter it is. So you're really gonna have to sit down and play with each individual one to find what goes on. So that's period 2. Period 3, of course, is the next 8, 9, and 10, where you get the usual 3 with 2 unlockables and 4 consumables with 1 unlockable. So now where this changes, we get the first aid and fire. This one we get the pneumatic control or the emergency control system, or of course we get increased fire resistance. You can do it that way. This one's engine cooling, engine restarter, and improved because obviously everything to do with the engine. Forward firing guns, universal ammo, or of course you can use the gold ammo. Same way with equipment, you're going to get a choice between sights and a couple other choices: reinforced skin, reinforced airframe, that kind of stuff. And once you choose this stuff, it does change your characteristics over here. You'll see a positive and a negative, because each one of these have a positive and a negative. For example, cockpit armor gives you 5% to pilot's resistance, but gives you a -1 yaw maneuverability and -2 roll maneuverability. Each one of these have a negative, so you're going to have to mix and match to make this work on this characteristic side of it. You're just going to have to play with it. And like I said, I'm going to have to go through a whole video of this, of just doing this as I make these planes specialist. Yay for them. So yeah, that's the big difference between the period 1s, period 2s, and period 3s. Obviously, because the equipment's going to change depending on the period as well. So that's going to be interesting. Same with the consumables. A very interesting concept. We will see here. Now, outboard turrets and outboard weapons, of course, are going to come and play with the bombers. This will be interesting. So this one, we can get the bomb sight strengthened hardpoint. So we'll look at that. 5% to rocket reload, 5% to bomb reload. Nice. And a consumable for it, too. Which, of course, is heavy warhead, improved explosives. Yes, just makes that more. Yeah. Makes it more. Because this is what I love right here. 5% to rocket load, 5% to reload time, but it only really affects your maximum speed with boost activated and 3% cruising time. So like I said, some of these planes are going to become, in my opinion, somewhat super unbalanced because of the specialist of the things they're going to add here for the specialist. Once again, not going to pass judgment until, of course, I see the specialist aircraft more and know what I was playing with CAD today. You'll see in the stream and the video I did. He says the BF-109 with the specialist equipment on it is fucking a rock star. So we'll cross our fingers and hopefully this is not going to unbalance the game any more than it already has, or possibly will do. So we will see. We will see. However, I have a bad feeling that eventually pilot skills are going to be changed too, and we could see some really crazy shit with the pilot skills change added with the consumables and the equipment. So that's just a basic rundown of the equipment stuff. You're going to have to keep watching the videos as I build these planes with the different equipment, with the calibration and enhancement. So over here, of course, we have a stock version. We have the elite status. I will reach elite status when I get the last 47,000 for this, and this will shoot me up to elite status. However, the elite status to get to specialist is going to be enemy aircraft destroyed in a victorious battle of 130, air defense aircraft destroyed 050. This is going to be only unlockable until I get the elite status acquired, which means to finish off the last 47,200. So you have to completely elite this before you're even attempted to go on to the specialist. Something to remember. However, we're going to go look at on the equipment side of it, we're going to look at some of this weird, crazy stuff we got going on here, which of course is, so this gyroscopic gun sight, we can, now this is some of the two new things they're doing. We got the calibrate and the enhancer, or the enhancement. Once you go here, you can see it requires cash plus some available materials that you have to win in game, right? So you win a game, you get these materials. Right now I have 20 airframe elements, 24 mechanical parts, and you use these available materials plus a little bit of cash to get the next piece of equipment, which is the improved gyroscopic sight, which adds 8% to accuracy and negative 6% to pilot's resistance to injuries. So this is how the enhanced thing's going to be working. You're going to kind of have to craft things. I guess that's the best word for it. Kind of like the stupid in tanks when they did it for Christmas, where you got the Christmas ornaments. Yeah, that's what we're going to call these. You're going to have to get these ornaments right here, and a little bit of silver, and then you get a better gyroscopic sight. Yeah, that's how the enhancement's going to be working. The other part of it, of course, is the calibrate. Once you get the sight, you can start to calibrate this. I'm not really terribly sure about exactly what the calibration is going to eventually do to you. I'm assuming as you progress up here, this firing accuracy is just going to get better and better and better. So you're going to spend a little bit of money, and you're going to take a little bit of your material from over here, and you're going to add it together, and you're going to get a little bit better calibration. I'm assuming you probably could do this multiple times until you get what you want, but we will see. And this is, like I said, we're going to have to wait till I get some of these planes to the specialist before we get carried away with actually going completely through all that stuff, because I'm not going to make a bunch of guesses here and not know. So, with that said, that was the good, the bad, and the ugly of this patch. Yeah, some good things, quite a few bad things, and of course the most glaring, ugly part of it, the epic cash grab by Wargaming. So, you guys have a good night. I will see you next Sunday. Have a good one.